Hey, come here a moment. I want to show you something. You see this?
It's my Halloween costume. I'm dressing up as mortgage repayments. It's the scariest thing I could think of. Team Fortress 2 and Creepypasta, together at last. For this year's Scream Fortress, I thought we'd do something even more terrifying than the recycling of last year's event. I picked a short selection of stories for us to bond over. Let's go. The first one we have is Team Fortress 2 Creepypasta Curse, written by Folklore. Well, good work, Deadpool. Do you mean the Marvel character? Or am I just missing something here? It all started on the 4th Scream Fortress update. It's important, it's the 4th one, I imagine. I was bored, and I was basically waiting for it to download. Then I chatted with my friend for a bit. His name was Mighty Chicken. It's important you tell us that. Then G-Man, my friend's Steam name. Also, quite important you tell us that, I imagine. Started a chat, and I asked him, what is it? He said he wanted me to do something for him. Hey. Kinda like trying to craft 3 cursed voodoo souls in the custom recipe. Why? Just do it. I received a message from a friend telling me to do it, but I don't have 3 voodoo souls, only 1. Okay, I have 2. Good, thanks for freeing me. Freeing you from what? This plot is moving a mile a minute. We are thrown in the middle of an epic tale. Context has not been established here. He didn't say anything else, and he just sent me a trade request. I got the demo voodoo soul, and I thought he might have found a secret or something, so I opened up my TF2 and quickly crafted all of them. What I got was the Halloween spell called You Are Cursed. That's all one sentence. I'd like to bring that to everyone's attention. And I thought that it might be a special effect, so I thought about checking my inventory. It wasn't there, my game crashed. I checked my Steam, there was a patch that said... Dash? Is something missing here? It looks like there's supposed to be a line there. I thought... The fuck? Really, killing the mood and any tension that was built up previously, I feel. I tried opening TF2, there was no download, it just gone to the menu. The background was not normal, it was 2/4 black and white, however there were bodies everywhere, with weapons in the ground and dripping blood. What was weird is that it was Scream Fortress and the background should be the Halloween skull. All the buttons were gone, then suddenly the server browser came up. I saw a server, a single server, called Curse. I said, what the Christ? I've heard what the fuck and what the feck and what the hell. But what the Christ, I don't think anyone says that. I just couldn't click it. It just entered. I spawned a scout. It was Ghost Fort. However, bodies dangling with Half-Life 2 rope textures. Thank God you specified it was Half-Life 2 rope textures. I was really worried. It was my utmost interest when you mentioned these ropes. Please tell me it's from another Steam property game. I need to know this kind of information. It's building my experience. I thought it was just a modest map, but I didn't download anything. I just runned to the control point even though it had none. There was no time counter, just text saying, cursed. I pressed tab to check the score. Mine was 666. Holy shit. At least he's providing an authentic experience. I imagine that would be most people's reaction under these circumstances. Suddenly a heavy that looked like it was animated on Source Filmmaker and Realistic Movement came. Okay, alright. And it seemed like he was talking to me. I was already sure to write all the undisclosed censored word that happens to me. I kiddingly tried talking in real life, but first in chat and microphone. Nothing. Talk to him for real. I'm not sure what he actually tried to do here. It's very convoluted. He answered, "You are the last one alive, please help us." He died all of a sudden, and I saw the zombies from the MVM map coming, but they weren't cartoonish like TF2. They seemed real and dead. So we saw zombies. Actual zombies, apparently. Then they started tearing my scout apart. I respawned, however this time I couldn't control my scout, and he was in the control point. That wasn't there. How do you know he's in the control point then, Fuglor? It wasn't there. He had no weapons, defenseless. Then suddenly a blue scout came and said, "Save yourself! Go!" I heard he whisper something. I suddenly saw a text in the chat saying, "Curse." The name behind was my name? And not my Steam name, my true name. Then a gruesome picture of my family, teared apart and mangled, flickered on my screen, and the game went black. Then I saw my scout walking slowly closer to the screen. He quickly said, "Curse." Then my game crashed, and a patch was released saying, "Uncursed." Fixed. Good on Valve, you know, they patched the "Jesus Christ, my game is possessed" bug that seemed to have been rampant with this year's Scream Fortress. Then I decided not to play the game for the night, and just play other games. Have fun. However, always when I sleep, I hear "curse." Well, that's a classic. I can't wait to see someone animate this particular tale. It's right up there with Edgar Allan Poe. The next story is called Craft Number 666, written by Hi-A-U, I want to say. It's kind of difficult to tell, there's no clear author tag here. This is based off a game called Team Fortress 2. The event was unknown, and I am still haunted by this event. Good to know. It was a nice Thursday, walking home from school. I remembered it was drop day, the day when the drop system starts giving items. Thanks for the clarification, man. You're trying to get in the non-TF2 crown to this story, so I got on my computer and started idling. It was a crazy thing to idle. It never works nowadays, but I do it anyway. That's the real horror here. Later in the game, I received one refined metal as a drop item. Boy was I shocked, because everyone knows Valve didn't add refined metal to the drop system, but I didn't care. I got something interesting for once. How could my day get any better, I thought. I really don't like how this story is progressing. They're building up the tension. Because I had 2 refined in my backpack. The possibilities are endless, I told myself. This guy's really excited to craft a hat, I think. I carefully took the refined out and put it on the craft table. So you double left clicked it, you mean? You can't carefully take that out, man. I was so excited to finally craft my first hat, wishing myself luck. I clicked the craft button. All one sentence. I waited. Then it finished, with an agonizing shriek that made your heart skip a beat. Jesus, I would have loved if you described the agonizing shriek a bit more. Apparently it was really scary for you. The prompt wasn't the same as it was before. Instead of saying, "Crafting succeeded," it was backwards. I was confused. I just thought it was a bug. This couldn't have been hacked, I thought, because for one, it's an online game from an official company. This man's having an identity crisis from text not loading correctly. Has he played Team Fortress 2? Then the screen flickered for a split second. Then the item was displayed. I didn't even have to click the OK button. It showed the mining line. People consider it a bad hat. Love that inserted opinion there. But I didn't care about that. What I noticed was the engineer. He was more gloomy. His shirt extremely darker. And his eyes were glowing red. The thing that got me the most was the craft number. The devil's number. I think that was a little creepy. Yeah, I think it might have been, man. If you're writing this up in a creepypasta, I think it might have got to you. Considering the fact that the engineer looked demonic. Yeah, that too is kind of worrying. It's a bit out of the blue. It's not ordinary TF2 here. My friend had just got here and was behind me the rest of the story. P style equals font size. Okay, something's gone wrong with the formatting. The article's broke. We had problems with the editor. He did not proofread this. The hat itself wasn't too bad. I equipped it on my engineer. Once I equipped the hat, full stop, the screen flickered again. Then that's when I thought the game was being hacked, as the engineer had the most disturbing grin I've ever seen, and his shirt was more darker, and I couldn't believe my eyes. What the hell is going on? My friend left, terrified. Things have gone from like 0 to 20. The drop of a hat. I turned off the game for the day, and I went to bed. Sane man's reaction. Good on ya, man. Don't play the devil's game. The next morning, I went to get ready for school. I didn't forget about what happened yesterday. So I was going to tell my friends about what happened last night. I spread the rumor about what happened to the game. Why are you spreading it as a rumor, man? You're trying to share the story of your possessed game. It's not fucking Chinese whispers. You want them to believe you. Most of the people at my school didn't play TF2, so they didn't really care. I got to my friends and told them about what happened. They were shocked to hear about this, because at that moment, one of them was asking to meet me at their house tonight to show them. So apparently, this haunted copy of Team Fortress 2 is in the Steam cloud. That's what I've deduced here. It's not even the install of the game. His Steam account is possessed. This doesn't have to be about Team Fortress 2 anymore. Valve, you gotta fix this stuff. My friend told me to show her the hat, and she looked over it very carefully. My friend was an expert at programming at the moment. There are several things going on here. For one, how do you closely inspect a hat in Team Fortress 2? It's a goddamn hat. You turn the NG around, that's all you can do. 2, you don't need to be an expert at programming to look at a hat in Team Fortress 2. 3, you don't need to look over it very carefully. There's not a lot going on there. 4, what do you mean by at the moment? Did she lose her degree? Was it revoked? This is an unlawful computer scientist. There's so many things going on in that sentence. We have to unpack it here. She said it was normal. Thank God she was an expert in programming. Lots of items have the craft 666. Then I told her about the engineer. She was disturbed to hear that, because she told me to kindly leave. You can just go fuck yourself, you know, you're on your own now, bud. I was upset to be kicked out so early. I headed home, only to find this nightmare to become much worse. I got on my computer to play some TF2. I picked engineer. The frick, not like nothing happened on day 1. I like how you took the time to just finish off the tension and started playing like most people did. Did they stop playing? I wasn't aware of that. I had fun. Some of my friends were on the same server with me. I thought your friends didn't play TF2. You established that earlier. Then it started getting more disturbing over time. Like the map was slowly turning red, the screen was blurring, and then my friend and my teammates slowly died off. Eventually I was the only one left, and blue team was just standing there, looking at me like I was their worst nightmare. One tried to shoot at me and it did nothing. I tried to move, but the keyboard took control of everything. I was just sitting there, watching my character slaughter everyone. Every person I killed left. Yeah, okay, this is taking a dark turn. Apparently this guy's the monster all along. No wonder his friends turned him down. The engineer eventually was the only one left on the server. I sat there watching him. Then the most high-pitched scream I've ever heard crashed the game. I couldn't play anymore. I was scared. How could Valve allow this to happen? I went to bed. Jill, you gotta patch this out, man. It's getting real here. I was playing TF2 again, but I was a spy. I played as usual. I came across an engineer with his buildings, and as I got closer with my sapper, the background became more blurred and darker. Then the world paused. I couldn't move. The engineers slowly turned around, with the same disturbing details I saw on my character loadout. I was horrified, unable to comprehend what was going to happen next, and just stared at my screen with my eyes filled with fear. He walked towards me with a devilish grin on his bloody face. He ripped off my arm, holding the sapper, and blood started to spray everywhere. And then the engineer told me, "Now just stop trying to mess with my contraptions, Nick." Nolan North has gone too far, I think. Valve should not have hired him to voice these lines. I was screaming, I couldn't bear the pain. Without effort, he punched a hole through my chest and ripped out my heart. I was seeing my life flash with my very eyes. Dude, I think you're already dead if your heart's been ripped out. I'm gonna be frank here. I fell to the ground. I was dying. Still pretty sure you're already dead, man. And for the very first time, I felt like it was over. No, I'm pretty sure you died like 20 seconds ago. I looked up to find engineer with his eyes on fire. This guy is frickin' Rambo. He's still alive, laughing at me for my failure. I woke up with sweat everywhere. It was my first nightmare in over 5 years. I immediately got on my computer and started up TF2 and I deleted my hat. Never to find these occurrences happen again. I thought it was over. Then I heard a clank on my window. I looked out to find a man sitting there. He looked up and waved at me, then he disappeared with no trace. I quit TF2 ever since, and I still have nightmares of the engineer slaughtering me every night. Who's this man? I don't think the problem is Team Fortress 2 here. I think it's the fact that there's just a man watching you in your sleep. I think that's the real concern here. Amazingly, there is actually a follow-up to this story in the comments. A little editor's comment on the final script. To those who are wondering, yes, this is real. So is the item craft number 666. Oh gee man, I thought it didn't exist. I thought Valve skipped that number in the crafting system down to superstition. I used to have the item. It actually worked. Oh, you seem quite chirpy about that. It was very creepy. I put it on my engineer and did the normal game plan. Nothing happened though. Engineer model changed though. That's it. 2 conflicting sentences right here. Nothing happened. Oh, by the way, it's real, guys. And also, people would just run away when they seen me in the 2-fort intel room. This is real. You shall believe the story or not. And amazingly, there is an unanswered comment following this, posted like 9 months later. How do you get it? No answer whatsoever. Amazingly, there's one more comment here. You should have sold it to a collector, you scrub. These are worth a ton. Jesus, didn't you consult the TF2 market? What's the price on backpack for fucking haunted mining lights? How many keys are they going for these days? 10 out of 10 story. If that wasn't the utmost pinnacle of modern writing, we have one more destination lined up. TF2 Creepypastas Facebook page. Someone actually went through the effort of setting this up. Interestingly, the top post that emerges in the most recent one is simply stating, "This page is not dead. I am thinking of new creepypastas. I will add to this page soon." It's a short story in itself when you consider he wrote this in 2016 and we haven't heard from the man since. These are all original content stories here. Let's have a look at one in particular today called The Paper. It was a good day. I just got a good grade at school. I got an A+, so I started playing TF2. Boy oh boy, nothing could go wrong from here. But 3 new guys added my on Steam. One named A, and the 2 others are 10 and plus. What a weird name. So I accept it. Tricely. What a weird name these random strangers on Steam have. Better add them to see what they want. They all chatted me at the same time and all of them said, "Nice grade you have there." And that's when you unfriend them, man. Then they started playing TF2. So why not join them? No, yeah, that's my first thoughts when these random strangers know about my school results. It's not like it's too creepy and all. No, I think it's very creepy, man. I don't know what bubble you're living in here. So I joined his game. It was weird. There was only 4 guys. Them and me. It's a night skybox, sawmills, and it's raining. I was like, WTF? Upward doesn't have rain. 2 of them were in blue and 1 of them were in red. So I joined the red team with 10. He said the sentence again. "Nice grade you have there." Then he started to go out. I tried to find him, but he suddenly disappeared. The kill feed went crazy. It says, "Nice grade killed you have there." I was starting to freak out. Well, you seemed very calm and composed literally 2 minutes ago when you added all these strangers. Suddenly a paper fell out of the skybox. It said, "Nice grade you have there. F- for you." F-. You thought you couldn't fail your test any harder than you'd already flunked it. I went to look for my test paper. It is gone. I wonder where it is, but it could be very creepy to look for it on my basement. None of this has been established previously. Apparently, his IRL test paper has now gone missing following launching TF2. And he's in a basement, and it's creepy. Why is it in the basement? Why do you have to go down there to look for it? I thought you just got home from school. I thought you had it with you or something. Why'd you just chuck it in the basement? Leave it there, knowing it's creepy. I tried looking for it there. There was just another paper saying F-, without any questions. Suspicious. Yeah, you're fucking right, man. It is suspicious. So I went back and looked to my TF2. The whole screen said, bad grade means debt. Jesus, I think modern education's gone too far this time. Even the TF2 screen and the desktop. Everything is like that. So I closed my PC and I never slept for so long again. H.P. Lovecraft has got nothing on this guy. And I think that's enough horror for now, at least until Valve releases another update for Manpower mode. In the meantime, have a nice night, folks.
Happy Halloween!
What am I doing with my life?